and be flagrant about it, because it was looked at as a down in society. We lived in a time where immodesty and immorality was called out vehemently and was despised and detested. We lived in a time in the early 90s where calling women the B word or whatever had a sexually explicit marker on the daggone CD, and it was almost damn near contraband in this country, right? So but we also live in a time now that if you say anything against any of those things, you're public enemy number one and you're a pariah. So I can't have regency bias to the point where I forget history and think that this man who is just new on the scene, who's less than 10,000 years old, come to this planet, and he is now all of a sudden the Dandana is just his turn, and everybody gets a turn, right? But we cannot forget that we was ruling for way longer and way stronger than that. So at the end of the day, the thing is, when you whatever you sow, that shall you also reap, right? And whatever goes around comes back around again. So the lesson of life is to learn and to evolve and to get better. If you always do what you always done, you're going to always get what you always got. So if we're looking to conquer, if we're looking to destroy, if we're looking to seek to take over, then all we're going to do is reap that in the end. All we're going to do is going to be a centrifugal thing. It's going to be their turn. There's going to be our turn. There's going to be their turn. There's going to be our turn. There's going to be their turn. There's going to be our turn. Because obviously, neither one of us is going to be annihilated. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing about it. But let me let my man English get in there, and then Witch Doctor, and then we can open it up. Go ahead, English. What say you, brother? I'm curious though, if you don't mind, if you wouldn't indulge me, my brother, from your perspective, what is it like in London right now for people that look like you and I?
Well, England or
England,
London.
England, England. I apologize. Whichever one. I apologize for my ignorance. Whichever one that you live and you're most familiar with,
Yeah.
brother.
Where you at? How that
Wherever
work?
you are. Yeah, yeah. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, London is different. It's a different. You can't. It's hard to. It's very easy to compare it to America. London is just extremely different. It's a different world. I think it's way more racist and discriminatory where you live. But where I live, listen, the racism for black people is much lower. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's exponentially lower. Like maybe it's like comparing the cost of living to, Texas to New York. That's the difference. So Texas is going to be like maybe, almost it's going to be 40% cheaper. So that's how it is. So we're probably 40% to 50% less racist. So you will, if you move to the UK, you will face less racism, especially if you're Black American. But what you'll also find in the UK is you will see that you basically look similar to the Caribbean Black people, because as I've mentioned to many people, 98% of African Americans came over here, over to America via slave ships, and genetically, you're by default you're similar to Caribbean people. There's no difference there, but I do agree when you mention.
Let me ask you a
Uh,
question before I apologize before you move on. Why are you so confident that 95% of people that live here came over on slave ship? Why are you so confident about that?
yeah, so I just want to rephrase that. So the first ever recording of a black person of your kinship that's ever been in the United States has been in the year 1500s. That was the first time. That's the earliest period. But why I'm so confident, that's because I have family in the States. I observe people. I observe the DNA tests that have been done. I've studied it for many years, and it's quite obvious that there's no way that you lot have always been there, because there was proof that America was invaded before, and there was no sighting of any black person in America. Like the only time you ever were in the 1500s, but even then you were brought over by half European, half African princes. So this is not this is not to because when I say this, people don't like to hear that, but it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't really mean much, because at the end of the day, it doesn't make you less superior, sorry, less inferior, or to Europeans. I actually don't think that African Americans are inferior to white Americans, because there is many ways these days where you can become rich, and it's very easy to become wealthy. And I've always said that if I was African American, um, I would obviously do what I do now financially and move out of the country, because you pay tax in America. There's countries where you don't need to pay tax. So you just have to think more of an individual and think more intelligently. And I personally come out of the mindset of, trying to fit into this imaginary black community. Because as I said before, like, there's so many avenues that black people go down that they don't actually know how to classify themselves. But I've accepted a long time ago where I rank. I've always said African Americans and Caribbeans that basically haven't retained the 100% African DNA that you had when we were slaves, are pretty much a hybrid. We're a hybrid race. We're a new race, to be fair. So you should maybe identify more with people like that. African will never be able to identify with that, because these are
That's
people that have not been hybridized, they've not been mixed about. They don't have no exposure to America. So it's best for you to identify with your type of ethnicity, which is the new type of black ethnicity, and then use the knowledge you have from your country to move out of that country and go to a country where you don't have to pay any tax.
that's
It's very, very simple.
that's a very very interesting. I don't agree with you all the way, and I love to let's converse more about it. I don't agree with you about the 1500s. I actually know different. I mean, because of if you go to all my session, but let my man Witch Doctor get DJ Witch Doctor get in here, and then we could go and converse. But I appreciate. I am curious about the more. I want to ask you about the more in your name, and it's interesting some of the things that you're saying when you have more on your name. But yo, DJ Witch Doctor, what say you,
Yeah,
brother?
there's
How
a
you doing?
reason for that. Yeah.
Okay, I want to chop it up and understand that. Go ahead, DJ Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I
What's up?
definitely want to understand that too. Appreciate you for having me up. Is I'm not sure what the question is, but I'm definitely feeling the conversation. The first time I even start hearing like a significant separation between black people is around when Tariq Nasheed and Yvette Cornell had that FBA ADOS thing going on. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time I heard about it. But
Mhm.
for the most part, somebody had said earlier that black people outside of America separate themselves. But it's like it's just like when I was living in New York, there was a couple of niggas that was from South Carolina, right?
Mhm.
And they all rock with each other because they were from South Carolina, and they just didn't know. No, it's not like they was trying to separate themselves from everybody else in the neighborhood, but it's just that they had something in common. Or let's say a couple of people from who graduate from the same high school and go to the same college. A lot of times they'll just rock with each other off the strength of them just was in the same high school. But I don't think it's like a significant separation because like I'm from Guyana, right? And when Guyanese people come up here, we don't like exclusively try to like date Guyanese, or you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's that significant of a separation. I do understand this the separation politically and geographically because when it comes to the reparation talk, like I'm from Guyana. I don't gotta say in reparations over here. So I understand that shit is not I understand it in that aspect. But I think it's starting to trickle down in a more like a black civil war type shit between black people from like different parts of the globe. And I don't see other races of people doing that shit, you know what I mean?
DJ Witch Doctor, I agree in the sense of um I don't believe in that. I've always believed that black people were black people all across the world, right? And I've always had a respect and love for the people who have love and respect for me, right? No matter if you're from, London, UK, if you're from, Guyana, if you're from Trinidad, Jamaica, whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've always had a kinship to global, to Africa. I've always had a kinship to my brothers and sisters all across the diaspora, right? That the issue becomes, like Uncle Jeff says, a lot of times, unfortunately, and I've heard that, a lot of times when people come over here, when they come and they get their citizenship, they're told or they're conditioned or there's a lot of propaganda for them to stay away from the bad black people that's already here. You know what I'm saying? The ghetto black people that's already here, the thugs and the deleters that's already, you know what I mean? It's a propaganda effort by the government when they let certain people in of color to separate themselves. And a lot
I
of
think
people,
that's
a
I
lot of
think
people,
that's true. When I came here, like I didn't get that sit down, you know what I'm saying? But I heard about it before.
Mhm,
Like I even seen people on YouTube like talk about having that interview and having that sit down, right?
mhm.
And not to be, I ain't trying to be on the BS, and show so the giz in the chat, that's my boy. I ain't trying to be on the BS, but there's literally after that Carmelo Anthony stuff thing, it confirmed to me a lot of stuff. There's even black people that are told to stay away from black people, or the quote unquote bad blacks. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's like I don't think that should like divide us geographically, because we always being divided into stuff. We're gonna be divided into West Coast and East Coast. Then within the is gonna be divided into hoods, and then it's gonna be divided. It's just gonna just keep chopping down type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this though, which that I agree with you on that, right? At the same time, I think that what happens is with the division of so-called black people in this country, it comes from economic status, right?
Mm,
Because when you have a certain amount of money, most of us come from an inner city situation, right? Most of
right.
us come from the inner cities that were born here that live here, right? And so what happens is or a very rural existence, meaning you either come from the country, or generally speaking, your people migrated during this period of time at what was carpetbaggers, and you went up north, and you're a northerner, right?
Okay.
And so, or a city person, basically. So bottom line, what happens is that when you get a certain number of resources, a certain amount of money, We've seen it with PNB Rock. We've seen it with my man Pop Smoke. We've seen it with XXX We've seen it with, when you have a certain amount of money and you live in a hood, Mitch, you know what I'm saying? Rich Porter, excuse me. When you have a certain amount of money and you live in a hood and you live in a poverty situation around people who don't have the same amount of money as you, a lot of times we see our Nipsey Hustle, we see the people get victimized, we see the people get brutally deleted or get robbed or whatever the case may be. And so when they get this economic status, they don't want to be amongst people who would, take advantage of them or try to delete them. And plus, we understand too, as a business person, you have different tax breaks. The funniest thing is, man, one of my partners is a God body, right? And
Mm,
and this particular partner, this back in the days, he just had came out of prison. You know what I'm saying? And he kicked it with us for a few years out of prison. And so he got with this lady and he got his thing together. He had a Janet King operation and he began to make like two, 300, $400,000 a year, right? And
mm.
so now you have this God body who's building Cypher and all this stuff from going from that to now he trying to vote for John McCain. You know what I'm saying? Because of
Damn.
the tax breaks, you know what I'm saying? And he talking a different thing. And that's what I've noticed. It's not really that people come and people try to instigate between the inner city people, but it's that they change their economic status and they understand that if they stay around a certain neighborhood, they're gonna be food, whereas they was cool or whatever the case may be. So I think that's the difference. You know what I mean? If you
I see what you're saying.
Yo, what say you though, brother? I wanted to get can you help me understand the more in your name and how your philosophy ties into that? Because the mores that I know they don't really speak in the terms that you're speaking.
Yeah. So basically, when I say Moor, I'm not talking about the Moors of Spain, because the real Moors are actually Berbers, which are basically pale-skinned and supposedly indigenous Africans, which are similar to Arabs, but they're not. So that's not what I mean by Moor. Moor is short for Moranda, which is basically is basically my family, because in the UK they have dynasties. They have family dynasties, so like the Tudor dynasty, the Victoria dynasty. So I'm from the Moranda dynasty. The Moranda dynasty is basically a group of black elites who are rich, who are billionaires, millionaires. They communicate with, other white billionaires and people like that. And there was also evidence of extraterrestrial beings in these white elite groups and black elite groups. So basically, what I'm trying to say, it basically started with my great 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 grandfather, who's called Terence. I'm not going to say his net. I'm not going to say his surname.
Yeah, you
But
don't have to. You don't have to dox yourself. It's good.
yeah.
Okay.
He was actually originally. So he actually grew up in America, but he grew up. So he basically born in England, but he grew up in America. He's actually an extraterrestrial being. He's also a billionaire, and he basically gave birth to our bloodline, and we inherited money from him. So, for example, my older brother is a multi-millionaire worth 700 million. We have
My bad.
loads
Did
of
you
So we
say
gonna
abilities.
skip over that?
extraterrestrial being?
Wait, hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
Yeah,
because
well,
I know I'm
thank,
not high. My
thank.
bad,
Nah,
y'all.
you're not high. You're not high, brother. Hold on a little bit, because you
I
said
am, but
he
you
did.
know,
Hold on real quick. He did say extraterrestrial, and he
Yeah.
did say that his forebearers gave wealth or finances to his people, and this is what he's talking about now. So this is interesting, but I mean his information is a little bit off in certain areas, so it's interesting. But go ahead, brother. I'm
Oh,
listening
is
to
there
you.
something you wanted clarification on?
Yeah,
Or
because you said that you thought when you talk about the Barbary Moors, and you're referring to them, that they was the ones that took over in Italy and in Spain in the 700s, I mean 800s. That those are you thought so what I'm trying to find out is what's going on with all those big black dark skinned brothers with the turbans and the scimitars, and that had the naked white women all around them. What's up
yeah,
with
who are
that?
those
yeah,
guys?
Who are those? Who are they?
but I've never. So basically, from my research, so there's two types. So for me, from what I've seen, the Moors are a mix of black people and African Berbers. So that's where like some of the confusion is. But my family name has nothing to do with the Moors.
Okay,
Where
but you
I
said
wear the Moranda dynasty, which is a dynasty of black elites that are
okay.
all over the world, including America. If you type in the Moranda family, there are some Morandas in America, and they're billionaires. As I said before, we all descend from Terence, who is an extraterrestrial black
Okay. So
being.
when
So
you
yeah,
say extraterrestrial, because that's a very salacious claim. When you say extraterrestrial, you mean from like another planet, like other than Earth?
no, yeah, so no, so what I mean, so basically right, so how it started is he was actually a Freemason. So he worked his way up to the top of the chain of
Mm-hmm.
the masonry branch,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was able to basically unlock extraterrestrial like abilities. Basically, for example, he was able to shift into different dimensions, communicate with beings from other planets who get financial information, which a lot of elites do. They communicate with beings from planets which you will never be able to go to, which were they able to unlock financial information such as trading and stocks. So he was able to unlock this financial information and to become a billionaire. And that's how we make money. We trade, and we have all the capital, and we share it. And we're probably one of the most powerful black elite families in the whole of the UK, because you can only be an elite. And a lot of people don't understand is you can only be an elite if the
bloodline.
head of the elite family has extraterrestrial abilities, basically. So
True.
if you
I heard
don't
that.
have extraterrestrial abilities, you can't be elite. It's impossible.
Okay, so let me ask you the question real quick. I got you. So, generally speaking, this is clandestine information. How are you at liberty to share this with us?
I talk about this all the time. I've been so basically I have no problems talking about it.
Yeah,
You know, it's not
your
like
family doesn't give you any problems with talking about it or speaking on it, or
no, this is common knowledge. A lot of
Yeah.
people know this in the UK. Like, there's a lot. If you come to the UK and you
Mhm.
ask anyone who are the dynasty families, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah," like they'll talk about famous families, and then I'll be like, "Yeah, these people are the ones that control everything, etc." Everyone knows, like the Rothschilds, for example.
Yeah,
It's like
Abels,
that.
yeah, but that yeah, in America that's kind of clandestine information. But I understand what you're saying. But
Yeah,
yeah, but so when you say extraterrestrial information, you basically talking about he's an ascended master. In other words, is what you're
yeah,
speaking.
yeah. Basically an ascended human. So
Yes.
a lot of, because what you have to understand is when the reason why why I come to these black conversations
Hmm.
is because a lot of people don't understand the black race and what we're capable of and where we descend from. Do you
Hmm.
understand? Like, he was able to unlock that because of his bloodline. So a lot of black people can do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you're capable of doing the same thing if you work your way out the ranks. There are some humans on this planet that are able to communicate with ETs and etc. Like Donald Trump and Elon Musk. All these types of people have been able to do it. So it's possible if you get the right technology. You were able to unlock your ancestry's abilities,
Right.
right? And you'll be able to make more money. And that's really the goal, and that's the solution, you know?
Interesting. Go ahead, family. Was you, D Rock, that was trying to say something? So I know someone was trying to say something. I apologize because y'all just went.
Nope, I'm good.
Shout out to Marcus Evans. Who wants to go ahead? Who wants to say something?
I thought
Yeah.
it was me.
Okay, go ahead, Uncle Jeff. I apologize.
Um, I yes, I'd absolutely heard of the extraterrestrial connection to the dynasties in Europe. That's yeah. That's it's it. The funny part is that we as black men in America can find space to ridicule that when we believe that there has been extraterrestrial. Yeah, we believe that there's been some kind of alien contact and aliens are here, but because it's higher, we have a hard time believing it has anything to do with us. Uh, I, I think also that the, uh, the public, the intelligent public, by and large, for some reason, seems to have a problem with allowing the black experience on American soil to be unique. Whenever it's brought up, it's to be critiqued and diminished from the side of the black people. So for me, and I believe I speak for a growing group of brothers who really, really, honestly, in their heart of hearts, don't give a shit what anybody else thinks about this. This is our problem. Because the only thing that outsiders have given to us as Americans with this problem is opinion. Of the $700 million that your family happens to have,
His
I
brother.
got a plan for $50 million of it, brother, that I could break down right here, right now. And with the power you have, and if you agree on it, maybe we could do something, make a few more steps, and help my people over here. What do you say?
Oh, is that to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I've basically helped a lot of people.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. And I'm sure you've done a lot of stuff that we don't know about. And that's an absolute problem for me with the benevolent, is that I always hear about the secret things that they do and the things we don't know about. But in turn, I know exactly where the idiots spend their money. So what I'm saying to you, and I'm putting out directly with regard to you coming from, and again, You come from regalness. You come from royalty. You come from, insert your high name there. I come from the south side of Chicago. I'm working with a Chicago high school public education from the 80s and Mythbusters. But I think I have a couple of ideas that we could mull around with pocket change that maybe, just maybe, your royal end could help us out. And please, please, if I sound at all facetious or sarcastic, put that in the back seat for a minute. I'm as serious as leukemia right now. If you come from a royal bloodline and that being, or a blank bloodline, again, insert the high word, and you don't have a paper shortage, then I could come up with, in 5 minutes, how we could change Black people's trajectory here forever with just $50 million. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a project, basically, where I am actually building. I basically already got an island, so I've got an actual island,
Mhm.
and I've got land in another continent, which I'm looking to build basically a separate country for Black people, certain Black people. You know,
Okay.
yeah, and basically, when I say this, a lot of people, because I've shown this to people, and they kind of like they kind of feel disheartened, like it's something crap or whatever. But basically, what it is, it's an island where you will be able to move to that island. Not anyone will be able to move there, but you will be given a chance where you can move there. Everything will be set up but it's not going to be a place where you need to work or something like that. All the money is going to be digital. It's going to be autonomous. It's going to be your income will be autonomous, and you'll be able to earn money through the stock exchange. But basically, there'll be no crime. There'll be no alcohol, so there will be some drawbacks, but it'll be an island which is only for Blacks.
Okay. Could we
Um,
back up just a little bit,
Wait,
please?
hold on,
And
hold
I
on,
hate
get
to.
that. So basically, to make in layman's terms, English, brother. So are you're saying that you have a plan in place, and so that you're only interested in working the plan that you have, or are you open to investing or into to be putting seed money into other people's ideas as well?
yeah, I am looking to put money into other people's ideas, but based on like the island basically was a suggestion made by a lot of people. So I listened to a lot of Americans, a lot of Blacks in Europe, and we came up with the solution. Me and my team, basically, and some relatives came up with the solution that we just need to get a new island, like a new country. So I didn't actually buy it. It was bought by a family member. It was basically £60 million, £16 million, right? That's how much it costed. So they bought that island, and currently it's still being worked on. The infrastructure is being worked on. It's quite a private project, but it should be done in the next 3 years. So it's not something that's going to be done like in 6 months. We still need to fix everything. Obviously, the farming, and we need to get people out there. Agriculture is being built, but once it's built, it will be a separate country, but it will be basically a digital super country where you'll be able to live and not have any problems. And you wouldn't even want to move to another country. And we'll keep developing more islands because there's other islands. So there's a team of us that are actually farming islands and getting as much islands as can. And these will basically be Black islands, like Black entrepreneurial islands where you'll be able to live on these islands and get an autonomous income, and only certain people will be accepted.
Yeah,
But it's
let's
mainly
get.
for Black people like you, basically, like me and
Okay,
you.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say, and I hate to cut you off because, again, brother, and it's just because you repeating yourself. Got you. Islands, money, separate people, uh, different individuals. Great conversation that I don't know how we got on, but I'm with it. I'm with it. I feel you. I'm down. It brings about two questions. And especially since Iz asked you, does that mean are you interested in outside projects, which you said yes, and jump back to the islands real quick when I thought we were going somewhere. And B, what are the criteria with regard to being able to being worthy to making it to these islands? What is it that a Black person would need to have or work on?
Yeah, so basically, and that's a very important question. So that ties into the downside of these islands, which the solution to that downside, which ties into your question, is we're basically accumulating more islands, but per island it won't be able to house millions of people. So only, it's going to be a certain amount of people that will only be able to come to these islands. So because of that, we won't just be selecting randomly. There will be an application form, a website where you can sign up, and it's first come, first serve. And then we go through all of the applications, and basically the criteria. There's no set criteria, but what we do have is you cannot be a sex offender. You cannot be someone that has committed certain crimes. So if you have been arrested, etc., it's fine. But if we don't allow sex offenders, we don't allow certain people with certain types of health conditions and stuff like that. You need to be healthy. You need to be someone that doesn't want to accumulate some type of alcohol addiction, and someone that actually wants to work with people. And you're fine maybe living by yourself and doing your own thing, because you will have your own house and that will be built and stuff like that. Houses will be built in with wood, and be built with certain technology, smart technology, which will allow us to build a lot more houses, etc. And you have to be willing to, you know, grow your own food, grow your own vegetables, because there'll be agriculture that's set out. And yeah, so we'll work with that, but that will be available in the next 2 years.
How about weed? Y'all got a problem with weed?
No, I don't have a problem with wheat.
Oh, okay, good.
So what? Okay, go ahead. Someone was about to ask a question.
So are you only picking the people from England, or is like a broader sample group?
No. I'm not picking people from England. I'm basically, so we're picking people who are part of this new ethnicity that we have, which are people who are black, but then you're not really from Africa.
Mm.
You're African American, or you're Caribbean, or if you're in the UK, or Caribbean type of guy. There's a new ethnicity. We're just coming up with a name for it. So that's going to solve the confusion in the black community, where black people are saying they're this or that, etc. So we will not the only those. So when it comes to the men have to be from that background. So that's the one of the criterias. So if you're African American, if you're from Africa, like you're African American, but you moved from Africa, we can't accept you. You have to be a real, like someone that's actually African American, like a foundational
Yeah.
Black American,
Like
or
from 60
someone,
entertainment. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel you.
or Caribbean,
Right.
or something like that.
So what about other races of people? So you're saying certain people that live there, but would it be a place where people of other ethnicities could visit?
Yes, yeah. So other ethnicities can visit. So women of other ethnicities can also live there, with the exception of some. Some are banned. So, like for example, East Asian women and South Asian women are banned. Uh,
Why is that?
and the reason why is because the reason why Asian women are banned is because that's just we don't have an explanation for that. That's just our preference. We
Oh,
don't
Okay.
all
trust
right.
Asian
That's
women.
fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
They're
Okay.
terrible
yeah.
drivers.
It's your damn island. Hell.
They're
Nah,
terrible drivers.
that's what's up. You
Yeah.
feel me? Well, I was just curious. Now that's very specific to not have
Because of what
a
they've been
reason.
doing, because they have a certain agenda. With see what's happened with Africa, like of Asian people going
Yes.
over. So
Yes.
we're not gonna allow that to happen to us. So
Come
Okay.
on, bro.
they're banned. Yeah,
Okay. I got
um,
you. There. Okay. That makes
yeah.
sense. Okay.
There'll be laws in place. So for leadership positions and parliamentary positions. You have to be a certain race, so you have to be black. You also can't be a woman. But women from other races can come. So, for example, we have some exceptions, like white women can come. Obviously, black women. Some South Americans can come, and that's really just about it, to be honest. But we don't give them preference, but they can come. Like, so let's say your wife is white, then there's no problem. But you have to. Every man has to be black. So every man is going to be the same race, and there will be laws in place. And for example, if you break the laws or break the rules, we will deport you. You know, and you will get sent back to your own country. So in the beginning, it won't be a country. It's going to be basically an intermediary country. It's basically going to be an island. It's kind of like a holiday resort. And then once we've got the infrastructure built, it will change into a country. And then that's what thing is, the laws get tighter, you know? So, yeah.
Who will be its primary defense if it's not a country?
So for this island that I'm building, I'm basically going to be basically the sovereign ruler.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be like a massive dictatorship. I will say that there will not be any democracy. It's gonna be privately governed, but you will be able to make choices and to change certain things. But the way that it's gonna be set up, it's gonna be a place where you probably will never want to go back to America ever again.
But he's talking about as far as the military, like military protection or being able to sustain itself from invasion or from
Yeah. What
from
if yeah, there you go.
enemies, foreign or domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like is that a question?
Yes, sir. Because you know, anywhere the black man goes, there's going to be enemies, foreign and domestic, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we basically will have a relationship with the UK, and we actually have a deal with some other European. We're gonna have a deal with some other European countries where they will give us aid. It's not gonna really be a place where people can invade it because of the laws and everything that's being set up. Because the way it's set up, it's not really gonna be a place. It's not gonna be the same as a typical country. It's gonna be a very capitalistic country. So high quality of life, high income, autonomy. So it's not going to be a place where you're going to be slaving away.
Okay.
You know.
That mean high
Brother,
income.
all of those things are wonderful, but they have absolutely nothing to do with the question I asked you. You have a wonderful, I'm going to give you this island exactly how you see it in your mind with a 5% bump. It's 5% better than you think. It makes 5% more money. The people are 5% happier. However, some hitmen, some Russian mobsters decide that you don't get to keep your revenue, and they decide that through operatives that look like you, that they're going to poison your infrastructure, and from there either kidnap or do something funky to you if you don't align yourself with their demands. If they're successful, who's responsible for coming to get you back?
Yeah. So what you have to understand is that basically it's going to be run by the Moranda family. So
Okay.
as I mentioned before, we're a powerful family, and we're
Okay.
linked up with other powerful organizations.
Okay.
You know, so I'm not. We do have an answer to that question. That is a
Okay,
bit
cool. I
private.
got you. Say less. I got you.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Cool. As long as that's addressed, brother. That was the only thing I was looking at. Is that this concept of the beautiful place that you have in your head? I'm down, bro. I'm down, but I understand who we share this earth with.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that you did. Yeah, I will accept that answer that you have, because yeah, it's a you what you telling me is that y'all dealing with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
it's-
like that. All
yeah.
of that is covered.
Okay. Cool
All
then.
right, all right. Shout out to you, Wish Doctor. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, D-Rock, you had anything you wanted to ask or say?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to add to that. I just, congratulations on that. I can't wait to see it in fruition. I'll be watching over here somewhere.
Right. Well, in the meantime, that 50 million I was talking about, y'all holler about that. Because that's still somehow we got to the island and the high hurdle of that first thing. But cool. Hey man, I'm down. I'll put my application in. I would consider myself an asset to any community like this, and I'm not above it. How I like to discuss the ability to travel back and forth. I like to discuss a few things that come to mind, but it sound like a funky ass idea to me. I ain't mad at it. It's
Probably
just
initially you wouldn't be able to travel back and forth, huh?
You can travel back and forth because as I mentioned before in the beginning, it's not gonna be a country in the beginning. It will be a place where you can once it goes live, you'll be able to go there, live there, and then as soon as you go there, you'll be given everything you need. You won't need to buy a house or anything. You'll be given a house. So as I mentioned before, the homes will be made. They're all going to be smart homes. So there'll be loads of houses that you'll be able to live in, and that will be pre-assigned to you, and you'll be able to live there. You know, you some cases you might be able to get your own boat, your own like in some of the gardens you might be able to have your own vegetable patches and stuff like that. But there will be like a little town community or multiple towns depending on the size. You'll be able to go in there and buy stuff, and the currency will be pounds. It won't be dollars. But you also be given a set salary, like a set contractual income that gets renewed. So that will be one of the big attractions as to why people move here, because you'll basically be on a pretty much a six-figure salary, doing nothing basically, if that
How
makes
is
sense.
how is that sustainable?
How is that sustainable?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to reveal too much of what of like why that's going to be sustainable. But what I will say is we have the means to give people that. But there will be when you come to the island, there'll be things you can do to increase your income and to contribute towards the island. But there'll be people that will just come and live here that won't do nothing and just enjoy the income. So there's going to be that, and that is going to be, it's going to be kind of looked at as an escape place. But I do encourage people to come and work towards something. But the whole purpose of the island is not really to come and be a slave and feel like you need to work or something like that. It's not that sort of place.
What's up, Lord Jefferson? What's going on, good brother? How you doing? What does salute mean? What's that mean? Narratives of dialogues. What's salute? Shout out to narratives of dialogue. What is that, y'all? Salute? Is that like salute? I don't know. Hey, listen, y'all. Help us reach our goal. Listen, we just need 14 more people, at least $5 a piece to reach our goal. Help us reach our goal today, family. We're close. Hit that cash app and support the show, support the stream. This is a very dynamic. I haven't heard anybody on this side of YouTube speaking like this or bringing this information to the forefront. So I'm appreciative, at least, of our brother Miranda, for coming, English more, for coming and spreading. You know what I'm saying? Spreading this information. You know what I mean? Another opportunity, something else to look towards, something else to see. Oh, okay. It's a slang way of saying it.
well,
Prophet
I
Young and old.
I got another question. Is
What's up, King
if I
Rooster?
may,
Yes. What's up, John
uh,
J?
brother, you spoke of there being absolutely no crime, And my question is, when in human history has such a thing existed? And how can you? Humans are humans. Somebody gonna get jealous of somebody's wife.
But this place is
See, hold on, Jeff. You about to get your application towed up before you even send it.
No. But listen, hold on real quick. There's places right now in Europe that the crime rate is less than 4%. I mean, I know he said no crime.
That's what I'm pointing at.
Right. There's places in Europe right now where the crime rate is so low it's almost non-existent.
Norway.
Plus he says it's gonna be a smart city. So unless you a dumb nigga, and you'll be all right. They probably gonna have shit on the floor that's gonna be able to stab your ass.
Wait, you didn't hear him? They ain't letting dumb niggas in.
Right. They've already taken care of that. The cover charge takes care of that.
Yeah, there won't be any prisons or anything like that. So basically, there will be laws, but it'll be very, very hard and rare to commit those. But basically, what the policy is, and this is something that people might not like about it, basically you only get one chance. So if you do get accepted and come here, and then for whatever reason you stupidly commit a crime or whatever, you do something silly,
you gotta go.
You gotta go. It's no prison or court. No, you're deported, and you'll be banned not only from this island but from all other islands you try to apply for. You're going to be banned. So there will be like information on like other islands, and they might say like, oh, this island is better, but then you find out that we're all connected basically. You know, there might be someone that might leave this island and go to another island, but you still, if you want to go to another island, like you can't actually move to another island, just you can only choose one. Some might be bigger than others. The one that I'm creating is going to be quite big, but there is another island that someone else from another dynasty, he's actually a black elite. He's from the Kesh family, and he is building an island. And I looked at the island, and it literally costs like 200 million, and it's massive. So there will be opportunities for that. So you know, it's the future basically. It's the future, and yeah.
How many people total do you suspect could fit on the island that you're speaking of?
So on this island that I've got, so roughly, if I had to give an estimate, it's based on the amount of houses we have. So on this island, we are looking to build at least 500 houses. So we might be able to house maybe max 1,500 max. So it's not going to be a massive population. Like, that's the good thing. It's not going to be a lot of people on the islands. It's not going to be overpopulated. So that's another good thing.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lord Jefferson said the catch is that you gotta qualify, that you gotta be so-called Black American, foundational. If you're a man, that you cannot bring certain pre-existing conditions. You cannot have any segs, crimes in your background, and if you act up, you're getting put out. So, basically,
I ain't mad at none of that.
You act up, you get put out.
And
there's not a lot of like I put out.
So you have to be what is called so we have I'll basically let you know what the new ethnicity is called. So it's called a modern day black man, so MDM. So that's basically the new ethnicity. So MDM, so modern day black man, is basically someone who's not directly from Africa. They descend from Africa, but they are strictly speaking Caribbean or African American.
You don't have to be perfect narratives. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, which includes like some Spanish people and some in Spain or Portugal that maybe have been there, descend from slavery, etc. So those are the types.
Can you request that you don't be on the same island with certain people?
What do you mean by that?
I already know where you're going.
I'm just
Yep.
being funny. I was just trying to be funny. I was just being silly. Don't pay me no
He
attention.
gonna end up being your neighbor. It's gonna be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be-
I
wouldn't
was
that
like,
be
yeah,
Oh yeah, niggas being
yeah, where
messy.
that no crime,
Wouldn't that be something?
it's about to
Hey.
be 2 houses for rent. You know, the poor both of y'all.
Where's Donna? We ain't saying nothing. We ain't
Why
done
they
nothing.
making it hot? Is what's going on?
We ain't done nothing. We just asking the question. We asking the pertinent
That's
question.
hilarious.
We asking the pertinent question. I ain't done nothing.
Who bringing Jay Prince?
Jay Prince?
Come
Jay
on.
Prince can't qualify for so many reasons. He does not qualify, sir. Jay Prince does not qualify for that island.
Damn it.
Maybe the other dynasties island he might qualify for. He does not qualify for that one.
Now we gonna leave him here. He gonna be king of the savages.
JP gonna fail the eye roundness test. His eyes ain't big enough around.
Oh, that's
Yo,
hilarious.
They're too
Y'all are
beady.
Why y'all? Yo, Jay Prince is not here to defend himself. Why
Come
y'all
on,
bringing up
man.
people that's
Right.
not here?
Yeah,
Jesus, Jimmy.
it's gonna be 3 words that keep Jay Prince out. Read this paragraph.
The man can read. Man. Y'all just
You mean
stop.
one word. Read.
No, out loud.
Oh,
No,
He has. The man has. Hey, can y'all please support the show because this is getting real crazy. Y'all support the
Dad,
show.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I
Yeah,
apologize.
try to get me in trouble. If
I
gonna be
apologize.
is was talking about people, I ain't even saying nothing about nobody.
Yes, you did, sir.
I made it implied. I implied.
All
it.
you,
No,
sir.
no, it was not. Support the show. The brother talking about the island of peace and prosperity and hope. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with it, bro.
And you talk about other content creators that's not
And
here.
black and by IQ. Oh man. And by what you can contribute and not just monetarily, because they got bread. We don't need your funky ass bread. We don't even count in the money you count in. This comes from a family that has uncountable money. I'm with it.
He says it's in pounds too, British pounds, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be pounds. Yeah.
All right. So what about your money that you already have? How is that gonna work? And what about your weapons that you already have? How does that work? Can't bring
you
your
have to
gun.
do
guns and
anything.
stuff like that.
Do you have to do anything
Yeah.
special for the Supreme? What you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any special
Yeah.
papers for the
No Diddy, no Diddy.
Yeah.
Do you have to? Wait, how many bottles of baby oil are involved?
Right. Yeah. Do we have to serve drinks in just an apron for some African businessmen?
Interesting you mentioned about guns because the gun laws there will be so basically I know you're American, so I know you can just buy guns. The laws it will be kind of like a UK-ish. Some things will be kind of operated like how it's operated in the UK. So actually, you won't be able to just bring your guns. If you do have guns, you have to give it to us when you come. So we will house it and we'll keep it for you. But then you have to go through this course to basically get a license to basically get those guns back, and then you'll be able to use it only in
What's
ranges.
involved in the course? Is it about like skill?
So reasons why. So in the UK, it's basically like a UK gun law test.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily skill. It's we're asking you why you need the gun. So you'll be basically treated as a person that's never had a gun before. So
okay.
Oh yeah. Send me back. Right. I can, cause she's my girlfriend. Cause my gun is like my girlfriend. I take her everywhere I go. Cause I'm attached to her at the hip, literally. That's why.
Does this count as and I'll take a no in front of everybody. Because and as peaceful and as tranquil as this island is, I will be 60 plus years old by the time that I am allowed to come to it. And there are certain things, certain realities we cannot get around, which is the fact that man's nature is beast. And regardless to how peaceful it is, and regardless to the laws and rules you have in place and those you have to enforce them, if something gets out of hand here with me and my wife, all you can do is report it. I'd like to have a hand in my own defense. And the fact that I'm over 60, and although I am a Marine, I'm over 60. I need an equalizer to protect myself. I'm not a danger to myself or anyone else. I have absolutely no criminal record. I served my country flawlessly when I did.
Uncle Jeff, it's gonna be 3 years before it's opening up. Why you?
No, this is a court. This is a court. I don't see how this question isn't valid.
No, it's not. It's just a very long question. I'm just trying to get you. This is a very long question. Go ahead. I'll just mess with you.
What it comes down to is y'all can't get to everything in time. Most times, most crimes are reported. They're not stopped. And that's why I have my weapon. Is that a fair response to the question your country would ask? Why?
No, declined.
To be honest, that's probably something we're gonna have to show you. When it comes to that, it gets a bit tricky, to be fair. But every person will need to do a test.
Sure.
Hey, y'all support the show, man. Come on, y'all got a lot of questions, but this is a good question though. How is population managed? That's a great question. That's a great question, Lord Jefferson, to be honest. Like, because people are gonna corporate and get together and have babies and babies
on an island like that.
On an island, yeah. How do you? I mean, you're gonna start out with 500, but yeah. How do you? I mean, like, what is it gonna be like?
Pushing folks, pushing each other in the water in about 10 years.
How's that gonna work as far as population control?
There'll be a cap on how much people can come here. So once the island is full, and you can see on the website attached to the island, once it's live, it will show the names of everyone and how much people are here. And once it's reached the max capacity, no one will be able to move there anymore.
But no, as far as procreating.
Sorry?
The procreation, like you got to, if you're serious, you're gonna have to make an allowance for the fact that people are gonna have sex and have children and reproduce, and that could get out of hand after a while.
No, that baby getting deported.
You won't be able to.
Wait, you won't be able to procreate?
Yeah, you won't be able to.
Whoa! How do you keep people from being able to procreate?
So basically, we can't control that, but if that does happen, you have to be sent home. Yeah.
Whoa! So if you have a baby, you got to go?
No, if you already have a baby, you're bringing it. That's fine.
No. If you have a baby while you're on the island, you got to go. Your wife got to go.
If it's underneath the cap, then that's fine.
But if it exceeds the cap, then that's interesting.
Yeah, that's where it gets a bit risky, but that's not something to worry about for now. That'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it anyway because I'm damn there, But if my girl too, it's dust. But
yeah,
I'm gonna subscribe to y'all newspaper, but I'm good. I don't want to pack up. I don't want to pack up just because I got
people on that island. It'll be a whole bunch of old people on that island. How long will he be in power? That's a good question. He plans on ruling for a long time. But can y'all support the show in the meantime?
Yeah, we had to move. We have another brother. Cap on that.
Hey.
But nah, it sounds.
I didn't look down on nobody. See, this how rumors get started. Wait, hold on. This is how rumors get started, Brandon. Say, I don't support people who look down on people who have a reading disability. I did not even say nothing. See, this is how rumors get started. I didn't have nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. So y'all can support my show because I don't discriminate. If you can't read, God bless you. If you can read, God bless you. I don't discriminate at all. That wasn't me. I'm not gonna snitch and say who it was, but it wasn't me. That wasn't me making fun of people not being able to read. Can the person who did please stand up? Hey, Red Scorpion said, have you had cook up rice? What's that? What's up?
That's rice and peas boiled in coconut milk.
Oh,
Bruh.
okay. Hey,
You
what's
ain't
up?
never had no cooker? Oh, bruh.
Nah, I never had that. I'm
He
very,
ain't know
very.
about that, Unc. He ain't know about that. Unc is an
Man,
international player. You know what I'm
What's
you
saying?
better
up,
have you
Bullish
some
Prince of
cook-up
Wales?
rice. Though.
Nah, I don't. Hey, this plan seems a bit shallow. Okay, Bullish Prince of Wales. Is this what another royalty trying to get at you, family? Are they trying to get at you? They coat of arms. They trying to pull up arms against you. It's
From
whatever.
Wales with an A, please.
Oh,
It's
Lewis,
whatever, man.
Lewis.
Sounds like some cult mess. Damn. Why black people always think some negativity, man?
Because they going to stay here.
You know, in life, nothing's like even with all of this, nothing's gonna be perfect. You know, there will be things that some people don't like about it,
Yeah, you can
but
work the kinks out as you go.
yeah,
I feel you.
yeah. But overall, it's gonna be better than the situation that you're probably in if you think about it. Like you know, the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I yeah, they don't know what kind of what kind of condition or just a person have for a disability. Yo, that's a fact, Brandon. And I don't make fun of people like that. That's not me. My friends, on the other hand, they got issues. I got friends that have it. But I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. It just wasn't
I
me.
should
That's
be
all.
able to. I should be able to talk about my peers.
Wait a minute. That's right.
We,
I
we got
identify as retarded.
exactly,
Pause,
exactly.
Is you might
pause.
need you might need a disclaimer for your channel.
Yeah, definitely. I do. Hey, the thoughts, feelings, and opinions of these niggas is
As
these
Uncle
niggas
Jeff
alone.
said it.
I ain't got nothing to do with
Let
none of
me
this.
go and raise my little funky hand then. Let me raise my hand. Remember, it's hard to cancel me because I still listen to CDs and DVDs and I drive a stick. So it's hard. This is you try. I got money that my name ain't on. So do what you're doing. And I think it's number one, we need to bring the word retarded back. I think
Wait,
that's a
whoa,
great.
come on, Uncle
Oh my
Jeff, man.
God.
Uncle
Oh,
Jeff,
I
man.
can't say.
Nah,
My bad.
No,
I'm,
brother,
yeah,
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not.
You didn't hear catch which I
Okay.
know.
Can I
Yeah,
say
I'm not
recorded?
that.
How about recorded?
Recorded, right.
Yes, recorded. We need to. It's recorded. Okay. I say if you can't count change, you can't fix a flat, you can't tell directions without help, and you need to wear a helmet to ride a bike. Yeah, that's recorded right there. That's what that is. But that's I'm gonna talk about them people. I find some of the stuff. Yeah.
Uncle Jeff,
How
you're
if
right,
you
man.
can be Groot, if you can be Groot, you can be talked about. If you can be talked about, you can be joked about.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in that.
Nah, but there's people, brother. There's people that have like dyslexia or have like learning disabilities that would prohibit them from being able to read.
So
You know,
absolutely
No,
nothing is
hey,
funny about them.
my bad.
right,
No,
So
right,
no.
nothing's funny about them. That's
right.
bullshit.
Wait, what? Come on,
That's
Uncle Jeff.
bullshit.
So
I
you gonna
know. I
pick on a person with autism or a person like that's on the
brother.
spectrum?
I have.
No, I know people that with autism. They can still read.
They
Nah,
could,
no, but
okay, I
everybody,
think you're missing the
but
point.
it depends on what.
I think you're missing the
You're right.
point.
You're right. It depends on what a level of the spectrum that you're on, though. To be honest, you know that.
I don't believe it does.
that.
I believe you.
No, it does. It does. It absolutely does. Come on, Uncle Jeff. It
Dude,
absolutely does.
you've never heard the term? First off, I didn't invent the term gallows humor. Second, there is funny stuff about comedy is tragedy over time.
I understand.
Okay, so anything that's tragic over time, some humor can be found in it. Now you can argue the position of the individual who presents the humor. You can argue that, but you can't argue whether something is funny or not. It's either funny or it ain't. And it's some shit about recorded people that's funny.
Uncle Jeff, Jesus.
I said recorded.
Hilarious.
I didn't say
know, but
recorded.
I understand you did, but I understand. But you be Uncle Jeff, come on, man. Like
Have you
yo,
ever seen Handyman?
But listen, yes, but you put but Handyman came out in the 90s, Uncle Jeff. Where have you been the last?
Is it less
30
funny
years?
now? Is it less funny? I've
To
been
me
right
and
here.
you,
Hell no.
where have you been the last 40 years?
Look
man?
here, dude. I tell you where I've been. In my right mind, in a mind that will not, in a mind who is so offended by the fact that I have to use the term deleted. In a mind that
Wait, hold on real quick. Travel one. See, this is that bullshit. See, this is how rumors get started. But this is what I'm saying, Uncle Jeff. There's some sick people out here like this. Look, you know what I'm saying? There's some sick people out here that will twist anything, and then it will be I was making fun of people with autism, which I don't, and which I haven't.
Okay.
I have people with autism in my family that I love very much.
Me too.
So I'm not making fun of people. I'm not making fun of anybody's disabilities. But this is what I'm saying. It'll be twisted on me, and people will spread it on me and make it seem like I'm condoning this or I do this or whatever the case may be. That's what I'm saying.
Is it all right if I respond to that?
Sure.
Okay. Anyone who would take the firsthand advice of an individual who speaks like that on a regular basis does not vibrate on that higher frequency to begin with. Number two, this is empirical evidence. This show is empirical evidence of what you said and did. You ain't said a damn thing. Dear salty ass people who would hear this, to include the half-raised heifer that put up what she did, none of the words that come out of Uncle Jeff's mouth is for anybody but Uncle Jeff. Dig that. If you got a problem with me, you bring it to me and see how that go for you. Go and try to sue me. It's white folks in front of you that can't get it done. He's gone. I'll be damned. I'll be dipped in cow shit if I'm going to sit here as a grown-ass man and have my thoughts handcuffed by the sensitive. No, I will not.
If you get dipped in cow shit, you'll smell just like Travel One.
Thank you. And I'm going to tell you something else, bro. I'm going to tell you something else. I do something now, and I got other grown-ass men like me that we're called pause hunters. What we do is say things in conversation that purposely make young dudes say pause because we like to watch you scoop your manhood up and run in the house. It's funny.
Don't do that, come on.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do it here. I don't do it here, but I do. I'm not gonna. I'm like, no. It's a sport. It's a sport. I'm not gonna do it here because it's too easy here. And y'all my homies. I ain't gonna do it to y'all because I know y'all will do it, and I understand why you do it. It's because your manhood has been under attack in a way that mine has not. I get it. It's just funny. It's cute. It's childish in many ways that you can't let a double entendre go through your mind without having to point it out. I think it's a little silly. But and with that, at 60 years old, I'm at that point. I'm a senior. I can say what I want to say.
You're not a senior yet, man. Stop it. Hey, that's why I got yamps like that. Block always spinning shit, telling lies, and get a effing life already and stop the cap. Damn.
Exactly.
Boss. Get a life. Hey, brothers, it's been dope. The Island brother left us, so we don't have the Island Connect just yet, Uncle Jeff. I don't know. I think it was too soon to ask a man that you don't know for 50 million, but maybe
yeah,
that's
right.
Damn, y'all already tried to shake buddy, don't you?
Well, he came in. That's what you do with big money.
Uncle Jeff said, "You said 700 million. Oh, sure, 50 million ain't shit. Let me hold something, youngin.
I was trying to be here when Iz at because I didn't want to ask for us on his platform. You know what I'm saying? I wanted here to kick it off. You know what I mean?
Uncle Jeff, I didn't get a chance. Uncle Jeff jumped the line.
Well, that's real talk. Real talk. Them dudes can't be finessed out of money. You can't finesse that dude. He gonna do what he gonna do with his money. What it's about is calling big money out. When you walk in talking about big money, well, let's talk about big money then. When you walk in talking about complaints and big money, well, let's make 1 + 2 = 3. You got complaints, you got big money. I got an idea. Why don't we put state-of-the-art computer labs in ghettos for the straight A students that deserve them. We could do that with $50 million, right?
Hey, DJ Wish Doctor, will you protect travel?
You see what?
She said, DJ Wish Doctor will protect travel, third person.
I beg your pardon?
Mills tried to clip travel's wings. Not smart. She put you in some shit, in other words. She said you her benefactor, you gonna protect her. This is what she said.
I beg your pardon.
She said you fight her wars for her. She got you. You fight her battles for her, buddy.
Oh no. Salute travel one. Salute.
Don't do it, DJ Wish Doctor. She the type that as soon as you jump in to help her, she gonna run. And leave you to get your ass whooped. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And then laugh at you after, like, travel gets things done.
Right.
Oh shit.
No,
I don't trust anybody that speaks in third person. I'm not gonna lie to you. Travel is the prize flight. What? What the hell?
Yeah, that's spirit.
With the tape, yo, did y'all see the Instagram joint where they was putting the tape on the Spirit airplane? Yo, son, I was through, nigga. They put tape, aviation tape. I said
it's industrial. Yeah, it's industrial.
Yeah, nigga, I don't want to get on no plane that got no tape. I don't give a damn what kind of tape it is. It could be Gorilla Glue tape.
Yeah, bro. Gorilla Glue got duct tape.
No, nigga, no.
Oh, I know. Oh, trust me.
I don't want to be on no plane with no tape, fam. Mm-mm.
Well, I got bad news for you.
Right.
What you're talking about is speed tape.
Right.
Huh?
You're talking about something called speed tape.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the shit you buy in the hardware store. It's a little different, and it depends upon where they're using it. Where you're not supposed to use it.
Wait, hold on, Uncle Jeff. How about anywhere on the plane, nigga? Fix the plane. Don't put no
right.
Okay.
Anywhere on the damn plane.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. Then I'm gonna suggest
except the seats.
And you don't fly.
I don't fly like that.
Okay, there you have it. Then we don't have to talk.
Yeah, I don't fly like that. I'll drive.
So why the plane gotta get tape? Why did they make it how it need to be? You know what I'm saying? Like why? Like what's the tape for?
Because
that part gonna take 2 or 3 weeks to come. That plane gonna fly about 300 times in that time.
Nah. You see,
and
that's even worse.
On one piece of tape.
No, it's not. Guys, you guys are thinking. You guys are underthinking.
Some Scotch tape.
No, nigga.
Why they can't pull out? I sure they don't got one plane. They got a couple of planes.
When planes fly the same route. Oh, go ahead.
They have hundreds of planes, brother. You are right about that.
They can't swap out no parts.
No, that now you getting into trouble because parts have hours. They don't count miles. They count hours. And why am I going to down this plane so I can put another high hour part on it? And I'm gonna have to take it apart again.
So how many hours? How do you know the hours on the tape? Like what kind of hours does a piece of tape get you?
Here's how the hours on the tape work. From the second you put that tape on that plane, it is documented. No, it's documented. I put it down at 4:33 Pacific Standard Time. I did this, did that. This is in the aircraft maintenance record. There is a flag on that time that when that time comes up, if we don't have a part, then we down the plane. Your problem is the Agent Orange got rid of all the people who make those decisions we're discussing right now out of the FAA. This is, I used to do this in the Marines, but I did it with helicopters.
Is that why all the planes been going down? Because the tape been coming loose?
That's hilarious. I think you may have cracked the case here.
Yeah, shit. Damn, man.
No, it's that speed tape.
Take them ears on the case.
No, the planes have been going down, quiet as it's kept, because of your solution. Oh, we gonna rob from Peter to pay Paul with this plane. You can't do that with a plane. This ain't an alternator. You can't snap a fan belt at 50,000 feet. So no, the aircraft parts are made to close tolerances. That is another problem. Is that there's the and I hate to raise this alarm and then get out of here because I do got to run. But the problem is that there is no such thing as good parts because of the quality control and the metals on the parts that are being made now for certain things, especially consumer appliances. Oh man, all that shit's horrible now. If you can get your hands on something old, a car, a blender, a washing machine, do so. Something made before 2000, do so if you can. Now I'll shut up there.
Damn. Hey, and Coach said, and you have a lot of redundancies built into planes. The redundancies are shit these days.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I got to take a flight to Miami next month. I'm gonna be thinking about that damn tape, Jeff.
Damn, man.
Yeah, I'm about to head out there.
Appreciate you, out there, man. Salute,
all right,
bro.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, Witch Doctor.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yo, what's y'all last words? I appreciate you, Jeff. Appreciate you, Witch Doctor. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to DJ Witch Doctor. Subscribe to my man, the MNF of Truth, D-Rock the Block. Subscribe to Uncle Jeff, Jeff TV. Make sure y'all subscribe to brother, my man Kojak 303, the great JD 1975, and Cajun Darkfire. Make sure y'all subscribe, and check them out as long as they're not live when I'm live. Also, my man Drip, the Drip Show, Drip TV.
Shout out to Drip.
Shout out to Drip. Make sure y'all subscribe to my man Drip as well. All right. What say you, Uncle Jeff?
Hey man. Number one, keep subscribing to this show. This is a dope show. Those of y'all that listen. Number two, again, I think we need to focus on the words "we" and "expect," and have the guts, the hubris, to close ranks now. Let's not suffer from Noah's disease. Noah listened to his friends and family drown, listening to God. Because if he had the compassion for his friends and family, everybody would have drowned. Because Noah would have started making the boat for 2 of them and 2 of them and 3 of them, and I'm going to get some extra animals. No, we have an assignment. Our assignment is to dispel wisdom and gather those who seek it. And God gonna deal with the rest. Stop getting in God's way and God doing God business. I say that I'm done.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, Brandon, are you talking about me, brother? I didn't even do. Are you talking about me, good brother?
What?
I don't know what my man Brandon talking about. Yo, Witch Doctor, that's you waving the back, bro. So I know.